To strengthen the emotional bond with your child, join with Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School Pune for a webinar on good parenting, raising emotionally intelligent students. To empower yourself with new ways of parenting, to learn how to truly connect with your child by our speaker, Dr. Radhika Rawat. To understand a child in a unique way, our chairman, Shri Subhashji Parmar, has inspired and guided us. So, are you all ready? Let's begin with our today's interesting webinar.
Good morning, everyone. I, Mrs. Sarika Rahul Paigude, on behalf of Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School, welcome you all for our today's webinar, Good Parenting, Raising Emotionally Intelligent Students. There's one thing about parenting, it never stops. Once you become a parent, you remain a parent for the rest of your life. The end of your child's adolescence is not the end of parenting. It only marks the transition to a new set of changes and challenges. Every parent knows the importance of equipping children with the intellectual skills they need to succeed in school and life. But they also need to enhance the emotional skills of children. Hence, to help you to connect with your feelings, turn intentions into action, and make informed decisions about what matters most to you. We at Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School, under the support and guidance of our chairman, Mr. Subhashji Parmar sir, and the respected committee members, have come up with this webinar, which will surely help all of us. Now, I request our principal, Mrs. Jacinta Manuel, to kindly brief all of us about our school. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone, and a warm welcome to our eminent guest of honor, Dr. Radhika Rawat, who has joined us across the 7 seas, that is Dubai. I'm extremely thankful, ma'am, for accepting our invitation and joining us today for this webinar. Informed parenting involves a great deal of consistency and routine, which gives children a sense of control. It focuses on developing independence in children. Parenting involves a style that considers children's age and stages of development. Holistic development of a child is of utmost importance. Informed parenting play an important, vital role in bringing this holistic development well. I'm sure that through today's webinar, we all will realize that behind every young person who believes in himself is a parent who believed in him first. All this work at Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School is accomplished through the wholehearted support of our respected chairman, Shri Subhashji Parmar sir. We at Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School focus on all-round development of our students, which helps them to be progressive citizens of futuristic generation who are socially, emotionally, and linguistically developed in true sense. Thus, our school is in continuous process of updating the parents through the topics covered through different webinars held every Sunday. Happy parenting. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. After hearing from ma'am, we feel proud. Thank you, ma'am. After hearing from ma'am, we feel proud to see how our children at Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School are becoming confident learners, and they are gaining a lot of information about our society and culture. Today, among us, we have a great personality, Dr. Radhika Rawat ma'am. You're most welcome, ma'am. Dr. Radhika Rawat ma'am is a homeopathic consultant. Ma'am is a psychological counselor and sexuality educator from the past 20 years. Ma'am is also a practitioner of various alternative therapies like inner child work, past life regression therapy, and visual art therapy. Ma'am has been conducting a lot of workshops and sessions with many people. The various workshops and sessions conducted by ma'am are parenting, sexuality education, awareness to child sexual abuse, dealing with stress, antenatal and postnatal education, and soft skill trainings. Parenting and sexuality education are the two main subjects which are very close to ma'am's heart, as they give ma'am an opportunity to work closely not just with children with normal and special needs, but also with parents, teachers, and people working with children in various institutions and NGOs. Today, ma'am will be sharing with us how important it is to understand the emotions and handling the emotional needs of children as we bring them up to be loving, kind, compassionate, secure, and also understanding human beings. Now, I would like to request Radhika ma'am to express her views about our today's webinar. Over to you, Radhika ma'am.
Good morning. Namaste. The highest in me bows to the highest in you. May this and all the coming days be beautiful days of your life. My association with Acharya Vijay Vallabh School started in 2004 when the administrator then was Dr. Ambade, through whom I started conducting lectures for the early childcare program. And this was one of the programs which was very beautifully designed, and a lot of thought had gone into this program, where young mothers and young women could come and educate themselves to bring up their children, and if needed, also work in schools as assistant teachers. And yes, all of you, I'm quite sure, are aware that quite a number of teachers in our primary section also have been a part of this program. Also, knowing Mr. Parmar, your chairman, who's a very enthusiastic leader, a very focused person, and I've seen under him that the school has grown leaps and bounds with a lot of the Sunday webinars that I'm seeing, a lot of international programs happening virtually with various countries. Also, I've been seeing the CompuSkill competition, which the school has been holding for a very, very long time. And computers being the most important thing in today's generation, much needed, had started long back in your school. Also, another interesting thing that was shared with me by Jacinta was the interactive workshop conducted by speakers from the US for positive disciplining for your teachers. Also, the school getting a certification, being the largest language lab with 62 computers. Congratulations. Majorly, a lot of good work going on in school, and I'm very happy to be associated with it. And so I was asked to conduct a webinar today, and here I am with something that we call as good parenting was mentioned in the name of the webinar. And I'm going to just share my screen to show you a slide which I want to talk about. That parenting, as we all say, good or bad, it's not good or bad. It is parenting by itself. And parenting by itself is a wonderful process where we all have grown up to be wonderful parents. And as we have grown to be wonderful parents, we also have seen our parents make us what we are today. And being wonderful parents ourselves, this is one slide which always makes me feel very, it's a very beautiful slide which explains how parenting is. And we always feel that certain things that have happened in our life, and we tend to blame our parents, and and our children tend to blame us. But this slide shows us very beautifully that whatever our parents have at the point of time when we are growing up is what they are giving us. And so none of the children are born with a manual to bring them up. And so each parent, with whatever available resources and facilities, tries to give the best to their children. And so this is how we could say that there isn't any good or bad parenting. It is parenting that has helped us. We learn it in different ways. We learn it from our own parents, we learn it from our friends, and so on. And so when we talk about parenting, we always first talk about food, water, shelter, clothing, education, which we feel is the most necessary thing that we need to give our children. But in current times, as all of us are seeing, and now we have realized that mental health and emotional health, मानसिक आणि शारीरिक पेक्षा मानसिक वाढ आणि whatever necessary for the children is what is the need of the hour, and we can do it with whatever resources we have. Thank you. Over to Sarika.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I hand over to Mrs. Gitanjali for the question and answer session. Over to you, Gitanjali.
Thank you, Sarika ma'am. Thank you, Sarika ma'am. A warm welcome to all our viewers who are connected to us on Facebook Live for this wonderful webinar on emotional intelligence and good parenting, often known as informed parenting. A happy morning to you, Radhika ma'am. A good or informed parent is someone who strives to make decisions in the best interest of a child. A good parent doesn't have to be perfect. No one is perfect. No child is perfect either. Keeping this in mind, it is important when we set our expectations. So let's begin with our question answers round, ma'am. I hereby request our first parent, Mr. Mahendra Meher, to ask the question to Radhika ma'am. Over to you, Mr. Meher.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mahendra Meher, father of Viraj Meher, studying in 9th standard in Acharya Sri Vijay Vallabh School. My question is, what exactly do you mean by emotional intelligence? And what are the basic characteristics of it?
Really a nice question, Mr. Meher. भावनिक बुद्धिमत्ता म्हणजे नेमके काय व त्याची मूलभूत तत्व काय आहेत व ती कशा पद्धतीने आपण मुलांमध्ये विकसित करू शकतो? Over to you, Radhika ma'am.
So just as I was saying that emotionally we have to bring up strong children, we have to raise emotionally healthy children. And the moment the word intelligence comes, that's the word which parents catch very quickly. So let's see what basically emotional intelligence means and how it is going to help us understand emotional intelligence and raise emotionally intelligent children. So I'm going to share my presentation with all of you. This is a presentation which I have created with a lot of information coming from various sources, and I'm extremely thankful from wherever I have collected the information. So we saw this slide already. Now we shall go, and like Gitanjali said, that I do not like to use the word good, because there is no good or bad, but yes, there is informed parenting where the parents themselves are going to make themselves educate, inform, and thus understand themselves. Like Jacinda said, that if you know yourself well, you can take care and bring up really healthy emotionally children. So we are going to see the next slide, where we're going to talk about what is emotional intelligence, the question that our parent has asked. And it's a wonderful question. And when we have to understand emotional intelligence, in understanding emotional intelligence, we'll have to see 4 different aspects. Now, what are the 4 different aspects of understanding emotional intelligence? One is perceiving emotions, understanding emotions, managing emotions, and using emotions. So we are trying to basically understand, समजून घेणार आहोत आपण की काय काय इमोशन्स आहेत, त्याच्यानंतर ते कसे हाताळणार आहोत आणि त्या हाताळल्यानंतर त्याचा आपण कसा वापर करणार आहोत आपल्या इमोशनल किंवा मानसिक वाढीमध्ये आणि आपल्या मुलांच्या ग्रोथमध्ये. So to understand emotional intelligence, we first need to understand what are emotions. Emotions and feelings. So what are emotions and what are feelings? Emotions आणि feelings ह्याला मराठी आणि हिंदीमध्ये भावना हा एकच शब्द आहे. आणि emotions and feelings are these 2 words जे आपण आलटून पालटून which use interchangeably in our day-to-day life. But emotions come from the brain. They are sent to us by the brain, and feelings is something that we experience in our body. So when we experience certain things is when we are angry. काय जाणवतं आपल्याला? Your heart starts beating fast. Then you feel very hot around your head, or you start feeling restless. Kiva, when you're feeling very sad, you feel like crying, you feel low, you don't feel like there is any energy. So that is how we are seeing that emotions and feelings are actually 2 different things, but are explained in just one way by saying, मला असं वाटतंय किंवा ही मला भावना आहे. And now understanding emotions, what do we need to know about emotions? So emotion, if you break the word, it just means energy in motion. And so emotions are not good or bad. Emotions are energy in motion, and energy can never be good or bad. It's just pure, simple energy that we are going to make use of for our own good. And how are we going to use this energy? We are going to use this energy in different forms. We are going to make ourselves feel comfortable with certain emotions like happiness, joy, surprise. And we are also going to, when we are sad or upset, we are also going to use these emotions to understand them and also push ourselves forward or motivate ourselves to do certain things. Okay. But if we have, why do we really need these emotions? Yes, we do need these emotions because, for example, if I do not feel scared and I see a huge dog charging at me, what will I do? I will keep standing if I don't feel scared. But when I feel scared, my body tells me to either fight with the dog, show him a stick, or run away. So emotions make us keep ourselves safe, secure, and in place. And so that's how emotions are very important to us. Now, like I said, calling these emotions positive and negative is again something very discouraging. And so I prefer to call emotions resourceful or unresourceful, or limiting or unlimiting, because each emotion is going to cause certain changes in us. And now let's try to see by naming these emotions. Very often we do not know what is the emotion that we are going through, because we very often are not aware of how do we label an emotion. And to understand labeling an emotion, we go to the next slide, which talks about the wheel of emotion. Now there are basic emotions that we have that are anger, fear, sadness, happiness, guilt, shame, and we can also add surprise to it. Now, the reason for showing you these wheels is something that you can do with your children to help them name their emotion, label their emotion. Very often, there is a funny mixture of anger and fear, or there is a funny mixture of sadness and guilt. So if we try to teach our children to label their emotions, they will also be able to express themselves better, and thus easier for them to understand the emotion, because once they have labeled the emotion, once they know what the emotion means, then they also know what it feels. So when I'm angry, I'm mad. When I'm fearful, I'm afraid. When I feel ashamed or when I feel guilty, I feel bad. Or when I'm sad, I feel when there is sadness, I feel very sad from within. And when I feel, so this is how we are going to help our children explain anger, fear, happiness, guilt, shame, sadness. राग, भीती, आनंद, दुःख, आश्चर्य, काळजी किंवा चिंता. सो आपण जेव्हा मुलांना ही नावं शिकवू तेव्हा त्यांना लक्षात येईल की एक्झॅक्टली आता कुठली भावना माझ्या मनात आहे आणि त्याच्यामुळे मला शरीरात काय जाणवतंय. मला रेस्टलेसनेस जाणवतोय, माझे कान गरम झालेत, माझं हार्ट खूप दुख दुख करतंय, मला खूप ओरडावंसं वाटतंय, मला खूप रडावंसं वाटतंय, मला कुठेतरी लपून बसावं असं वाटतंय. व्हॉट इज इट दॅट आय एम फीलिंग when I know what I'm feeling, and thus I know how to label the emotion, which is going to be very, very helpful for us to teach our children what is the emotion, how does one feel, and so how do we deal with it. Here, I would like to now show you a very small video clip which will help us understand our children. I hope you can hear the sound. So now this 3-minute video has just told us so many things, because when we see something visually, it acts much better than the number of words that we are using. So I would now like to ask Gitanjali if any parent has any question for us.
Ma'am, after looking the video, it was really, everybody would have in the mind that emotions are really the energy in motions. आणि योग्य वेळी योग्य भावना जर व्यक्त केल्या गेल्या तर बरेचसे तुटलेली नाती पुन्हा छान रूपी जुळतील. धन्यवाद मॅम. मुलांची मानसिकता समजून घेऊन त्यांचे योग्य कौशल्य ओळखून त्यांच्या मनामध्ये ती कशा पद्धतीने रुजवून विकसित करता येईल याचे तुम्ही सुंदररित्या मार्गदर्शन केले आणि आमचे सगळेच पेरेंट्स नक्कीच या गोष्टीवर विचार करतील. हा व्हिडिओ प्रत्येकाच्या मनावर एक छाप सोडून जाईल. थँक्यू मॅम. Now I request a parent, Mrs. Sonali Oswal, to ask the next question. Over to you, Mrs. Oswal.
Good morning, ma'am. Hello, everyone. My name is Sonali Jitendra Oswal, mother of Ansh Oswal, studying in 3rd A, Acharya Sri Vijay Vallabh School. My question is, how can we nurture this emotion in our children in different age group?
Thank you, Mrs. Oswal. एखाद्या मुलाच्या प्रगतीशील भविष्यासाठी त्याच्यामधील भावनिक व सामाजिक कौशल्य विविध वयोगटामधील मुलांमध्ये आपण कशा पद्धतीने विकसित करू शकतो? हाऊ कुड वी नर्चर दीज इमोशन्स? ओव्हर टू यू राधिका मॅम.
Yes, so let's continue with our presentation. Yes, so now we saw that we taught our children to name the emotion, and yes, the question that comes that how do we nurture these in different age groups? So we need to teach all our children at all age groups to name the emotion. Like we said, anger, grief, sadness, happiness, surprise, everything we need to teach them to label. The moment we teach them to label, we also with that teach them to describe that emotion. What is that emotion causing? And like we saw in the video, that the anger, there was hate, there was wanting to hurt somebody, wanting to make somebody feel sorry about it. And that's how the child thought that that is going to make it happy. But yes, it is not. And here comes when I say that they are not good or bad or unresourceful. Yes, emotions can be unresourceful. Here we saw that when the child was angry, this emotion made the child absolutely unresourceful, made the child felt limited. And so the child could not think correctly to what the child wanted to do to express the anger or express the sadness that the child felt when the child received that you have tried. And whereas the sibling was doing much better. So this unresourcefulness sometimes makes you hurt others and hurt yourself. And that is why I would like to call this emotion unresourceful, not good or not bad. And so with these unresourceful emotions, when we help our children to give it a language, think about what the emotion is, what is it causing within you, how one should calm oneself down, and to give the child the language to express this emotion. I'm going to take grief as an emotion now. Currently, the pandemic has brought a lot of grief and sadness in our lives due to various things that are happening. And a good friend of mine, Sandy Dias, who is the founder of Just Being Healing Center, has created this beautiful lines which are going to help us teach our child, give it a language. And now what do they say? It says, listen to the feelings of your child. They may not always express in words. So all the children are not very verbal. Some children would just cry and express their sadness. Some children would just go sit quietly in a corner and not say a word. Another child would just go screaming around and be very restless. So we have to understand that these feelings can be expressed in different ways. We always expect the child to come and talk to us, but maybe our child right now does not want to talk to us, just wants to experience the feeling that the child is going through. So we just need to be there. Then they will come up with a lot of questions, and sometimes we are so tied up ourselves that we don't want to answer these questions, or sometimes we don't have answers to this question, and that makes us feel small. How can I not know the answer to the question that my child is asking? Well, parents, you need to remember you are not know all. There are so many things as adults, as parents, that we may not know. But yes, there are various sources from where you can go find information and share it with your children and answer all their questions. Or maybe just together you can wonder, what is the question and where is the answer? That again will strengthen the bond between you and your child. Now, because I was talking of grief, here a lot of us have lost a lot of very near and dear people in our lives. And it is very difficult for us to share with our children that you also miss the person who has died or who has passed away. But it is okay to let our children know that certain things have happened. It's okay to grieve, to feel sad. It's okay to grieve together. So that bond sets in you much stronger. There are beautiful things that one can do as you grieve. Grief does not always involve crying or sitting in a corner, but it also involves talking about wonderful memories of that person. How have you been with that person? How has life been with that person? How wonderful times you have spent with that person? How do you respect that person? How do you miss that person? So all these beautiful memories are going to help us talk and bring out the best in us and help us grieve. Similarly, different beliefs that we have around life and death. This is a wonderful opportunity or a teaching moment that we as parents can use to talk to the children about what they feel, what is life, what is death. Children have a lot of questions around this. Sometimes we also have, and we are not sure how to answer. So again, wonder together, try to find the answers together. You can use wonderful metaphors, like we generally tell children when they are too small and we feel that they do not understand that the person is dead, not there. So we can take them out in the balcony at the night and show them that yes, there they are in the sky and have become a beautiful star. Or maybe plant a tree in their memory, some kind of a metaphor which will help them understand the passing away and the person not being around. And if possible, let's also tell them about how death occurs, if it is possible, how one would like to talk about it, what are their ideas, ask them. They also do have their ways of understanding grief or understanding how things are. And so this is going to help us to deal with their emotion. And this is how we are going to give them a language to express their emotion. And so this is just that we are talking about grief, but it could be any other emotion. So what we need, the children feel that I should be heard, I should be seen, I should be felt, I should be understood. Very often as parents, what we do is we just try to talk them out of a feeling or an emotion. We try to distract them, but children do not want a distraction. They want to be heard, seen, felt, and understood, which will help them strengthen the bond with us. So as we go forth, I hope you have understood what we are saying, or do you have any questions?
And we can use the Marathi language also, so that it will be better for connecting with the people.
Yes. I am going to also share a few things in Marathi with our, as we come up with our questions. Thank you for reminding me. So do we have any questions, Gitanjali? Gitanjali, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Very true, ma'am. Emotional intelligence is an integral part of forming and developing human relationships in different age groups. These have to be handled and cared and nurtured with efficiency. मुलांमध्ये भरपूर प्रश्न मुलांच्या डोक्यात फिरत असतात आणि प्रत्येक प्रश्नाचं उत्तर हे आपण पॉझिटिव्हली दिलंच पाहिजे असे तुमच्या सगळ्या एकूण ह्याच्यातून आम्हाला समजले आहे आणि पेरेंट्स सुद्धा समजून घेतील. थँक्यू मॅम. Now we move ahead to our parent, Mrs. Rakhi Jain. I request you to ask the question, Mrs. Rakhi Jain.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, ma'am. My name is Rakhi Baldik Jain. My child is studying senior KG A or Vijay Vallabh School. My question is, how can we identify if a child is emotionally weak or strong?
Indeed, a very crucial question, madam. मुलांमधील भावनात्मक दृष्टिकोन व त्याबद्दलचे विचार हे कितपत सशक्त व कमकुवत आहेत हे आपण कशा प्रकारे जाणून घेऊ शकतो?
Yes, so I think we shall go back to our presentation. So to understand our children, if they are strong, weak, we are going to see some more ways that we are going to understand our children and कसं आपल्या मुलांना आपण समजून घेऊ शकणार आहोत आणि आपल्याला काय करता येईल त्यांच्याकरता. सो आपल्या मुलांना जेव्हा आपल्याला हँडल करायचं आहे आणि तेव्हा त्यांना मदत करायची आहे, तर देर आर व्हेरियस वेज दॅट वी कॅन डू इट. And this is a very beautiful slide that I found, which talks about how we can help them understand and manage their emotions. So, like we saw, that the first thing that we need to remind them that they need not hurt themselves or others. स्वतःला सुद्धा किंवा दुसऱ्यांना सुद्धा त्यांनी दुखवू नये. आणि न दुखावता कसं आपल्याला हे करता येईल, तर टेक सम डीप ब्रेथ्स. Deep breaths. Ata ithe there is another picture in the slide which talks that our 5 fingers are our 5 emotions. And understanding these emotions, we have to hold each finger. Now suppose I am angry. So what will I do? मी मधलं बोट धरून ठेवेन आणि काही खोल श्वास घेईन. आणि काही खोल श्वास घेतल्यानंतर मला जाणवेल की हळूहळू मी शांत झालेलो आहे किंवा शांत मला जाणवायला लागलेला आहे. I always also want them to understand and put it in words. त्यांना आपण शब्द देणं गरजेचं आहे आणि आपण ते शब्द त्यांना देणार आहोत की काय वाटतंय, कसं वाटतंय, कुठे त्रास होतोय, कसं समजून घेऊ मी की हो मला राग आलाय, मला ओरडावंसं वाटतंय, मला पळावंसं वाटतंय, मला मारावंसं वाटतंय, मला काहीतरी करावंसं वाटतंय. मग काय करावंसं वाटतंय हे आपल्याला लक्षात घेणं गरजेचं आहे. सो यूज माय वर्ड्स टू से. माय म्हणायचं, तुला काय वाटतंय, मला असं वाटतंय. नॉट somebody else but I. मला काय वाटतंय, मी कसं वाटून घेतेय, मला काय करावंसं वाटतंय, what do I wish to do, what would I wish to happen. So that is how we are going to help them understand and bring it out and express it in words which will help them understand where they stand. त्याच्यानंतर asking for help to solve the issue. We very often do not allow children to solve their own problems. आपण त्यांना immediately solutions देतो की हे करा, ते करा, असं करा, तसं करा. तसं न करता let them learn to solve their problem. काय झालं आहे, what was the issue, why did I get angry, what would I have done differently instead of what I did is very important for us. So we have to be there for them to help them solve their issues. आणि it is going to take time for the child to calm down. It cannot be like a button switch की button दाबलं आणि दिवा लागला. नाही, it's a child. The child is going to take time, and you have to keep telling the child that it is absolutely okay to feel angry. It is absolutely okay to feel upset. राग येणं ओके आहे, अपसेट होणं ओके आहे, पण तो आपण कसा एक्सप्रेस करणार आहोत, तो कसा चॅनलाइज करणार आहोत की ज्याच्याने आपण स्वतःला किंवा दुसऱ्यांना दुखापत होऊ देणार नाही, हे लक्षात घेणं आपल्याला जास्ती महत्वाचं आहे. ओके, सो दॅट इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट फॉर अस टू लेट द चाइल्ड नो what is going to be important for us. Now, there are some more things that we can ask our child to do when the child is angry. We are also going to ask the child, if the child is very angry, खूप रागवलंय, खूप ताकद, एनर्जी खूप आलेली आहे, बरं जा बरं बाहेर जाऊन जरा बॉलशी खेळ, किंवा सायकलवर एक चक्कर मारून ये, किंवा एक बागेत धावत चक्कर मारून ये, किंवा सोसायटीला एक चक्कर मारून ये. So engage them in physical activities, some kind of physical activities. Now with the current situation, if the child cannot go outside the house, you can have a safe space in the house, maybe a place in the house where the child can go and spend some time. मग एखादी गॅलरी किंवा एखादी खोलीतली छोटीशी जागा की जिथे एखादं टेडी बेअर ठेवलंय विच यू कॅन गो अँड स्क्वीज, किंवा एखादी उशी घेऊन त्याच्यात थोडंसं बॉक्सिंग केलं. So this is a place where the child knows I can go and be safe. If your child likes to do artwork, give them colors, paper द्या, pencil द्या, crayons द्या. Basically crayons ने त्यांना strongly color करायला help होईल, which will also bring out their emotion. काही मुलं शब्दांमध्ये फार सुंदरपणे गोष्टी व्यक्त करू शकतात. मग अशा वेळेस त्यांना एखादी गोष्ट लिहायला सांगा झालेल्या इन्सिडेंट बद्दल, किंवा एखाद्या व्यक्तीबद्दल जर त्यांना काही राग असेल, चीड असेल, दुःख वाटलं असेल, वाईट वाटलं असेल, तर त्यांना सांगा की चल त्या व्यक्तीला तू एक पत्र लिहून टाक. सो दॅट इज हाऊ वी आर गोइंग टू हेल्प देम एक्सप्रेस द लँग्वेज और ब्रिंग आउट द इमोशन. किंवा अ नाईस बुक दॅट दे लाईक टू रीड, किंवा सम नाईस म्युझिक, सूदिंग म्युझिक. काही मुलांना काही गाणी, काही म्युझिक, इन्स्ट्रुमेंटल म्हणा, वर्बल म्हणा, समथिंग दॅट दे लाईक दे कॅन डू. किंवा इफ दे फील दॅट दे वॉन्ट टू कम अँड टॉक टू यू, just drop everything that you are doing and sit and talk to them. Just listen to them. Give them 100% listening attention. And the best that one can do is give a hug. मस्त घट्ट मिठी मारा. अगदी किती लहान किंवा किती मोठं तुमचं मूल असलं तरी. आपल्याकडे बऱ्याचदा मुलं 10-12 वर्षाची झाली की आपण त्यांना मिठीत घेत नाही, किंवा त्यांचा हात धरत नाही, किंवा त्यांना असं पकडून बसत नाही. Children miss out on all these things. And yes, as parents, we can surely do those things. What do you say, Gitanjali?
Very well said, ma'am. It's a true. आणि प्रत्येकाच्या आयुष्यात एक ब्रेकआउट रूम हवा जिथे माणूस इमोशनली मोकळा होईल आणि पुन्हा रिजनरेट होईल पॉझिटिव्ह गोष्टींसाठी. धन्यवाद मॅडम. मुलांमधील भावनात्मक बदल ओळखणे हा अतिशय चॅलेंजिंग टास्क आहे, पण ते तुम्ही आम्हाला अतिशय सोप्या पद्धतीने समजवले. थँक्यू सो मच मॅम. Now I move on to our next parent, Mrs. Megha Bhattar. I request you to ask a question, ma'am. Over to you, Mrs. Megha Bhattar.
Good morning, all. My name is Megha Bhattar, mother of Harshit Bhattar, studying in first class A. Can you suggest some tips or exercise to increase their emotions?
मॅडम, मुलांमधील भावनिक बुद्धिमत्ता योग्य प्रकारे रुजविण्यासाठी व ती वाढविण्यासाठी तुम्ही आम्हाला काही सूचना व व्यायामाचे प्रकार समजावू शकता का?
Yes, surely I can do that. Is like we said right now, and more to come, is we have to help our children name, express, and find out from themselves how they can look at the emotion and work with the emotion. And we have to be there for them. So जर आपण त्यांना अवेअर केलं की राग येतोय, तर बिकॉज जरा छोटे छोटे ट्रिगर्स असतात. जेव्हा आपल्याला राग येत असतो तेव्हा आपल्याला कान गरम व्हायला लागतात, किंवा एकदम बेचैनी होते, किंवा असा पोटातून असं काहीतरी झाल्यासारखं होतं, किंवा एकदम हार्ट रेट वाढल्यासारखा किंवा धुक 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 झाल्यासारखं होतं. सो हे छोटे छोटे आपले ट्रिगर्स आहेत, मुलांना हे माहिती असतात. आणि हे ट्रिगर्स जेव्हा त्यांना लक्षात आपण आणून देऊ की हा बघ राग आला की काय वाटायला लागतं तुला. So this is how we are going to make them aware that an emotion is arising. It could be any kind of emotion. It doesn't have to be anger, or doesn't have to be sadness, or it could be any emotion. But the moment we educate them or teach them, or not teach them but educate them, make them aware ki this is how, this is the trigger of my emotion, this is how my emotion is going to come up, and this is how एकदा तो इमोशन वर यायला लागला की मग तो जसा 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 वाढत जातो आणि मग त्याच्यात मग मी स्वतःला काही प्रकारे इजा करून घेऊ शकतो, दुसऱ्यांना काही म्हणजे मारामारी होणं, ढकलाढकली होणं, चिडाचिडी होणं, ओरडाआरडा होणं, ह्या सगळ्याने स्वतःला आणि दुसऱ्यांना मी जर त्रास करतोय तर तो न होण्यासाठी जर मला आधीच लक्षात आलं की मला राग यायला लागलाय, तर मग आपण मगाशी बघितल्या त्या 5-6 गोष्टी करणं, की श्वासावर लक्ष घेणं, एखादी घरात त्याच्याकरता त्याने तयार केलेली किंवा तुम्ही एकत्र तयार केलेली एक सिक्युअर सेफ जागा, की जिथे मुलाला माहितीये की मी तिथे जाऊन बसून जर रडलो किंवा माझा एखाद्या टेडी बेअरला घट्ट धरलं किंवा थोडंसं बॉक्सिंग केलं किंवा कागदाचे बारीक तुकडे केले किंवा कलरिंग पेपर घेतला आणि क्रेयॉनने घासून रंग काढला किंवा माझं पाहिजे ते म्युझिक लावलं किंवा एखादं छान गोष्ट लिहिली किंवा एखादं पत्र लिहिलं, तर this is how we will make them aware, and this is how we will help them bring out that emotion also in a very channelized manner, wherein they will realize and then they will also understand others having that emotion. Our basic this of making them understanding to bring that emotion is using that emotion to understand themselves, understand their parents, understand their friends. So automatically ह्याच्याने काय होणार आहे, सोशली गोष्टी इम्प्रूव्ह होणार आहेत त्या मुलाकरता आणि त्याच्या फॅमिली करता. I hope I have answered your question, Gitanjali.
Yes, ma'am. And I would also like to say that we at Acharya Sri Vijay Vallabh School, we are in the continuous process of developing all these emotions right from the childhood. So we take pleasure in saying all these things. खरंच मुलांच्या क्षमतेनुसार आपण जे काही व्यायामाचे प्रकार तुम्ही सुचवले ते अतिशय सहज व सोपे होते, जे आधीच्या स्लाइड मध्ये पण आपण दाखवले, जेणेकरून सर्वांनाच याचा फायदा होईल. थँक्यू मॅम. Now I request our parents, Mrs. Mehta, to ask the next question. Over to you, Mrs. Mehta.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I am a parent of Titi Mehta. I am myself Varsha Mehta. My question is that how does emotional changes in one's behavior affects the surroundings?
Thank you, Mrs. Mehta. मॅम, एखाद्या मुलामध्ये झालेल्या भावनिक बदलांचा परिणाम हा त्याच्या भोवतालच्या वातावरणावर कितपत व कशा पद्धतीने होऊ शकतो? Please could you guide us about it?
Yes, so as we were saying that it is also going to help us manage our relationships. So there's a very beautiful slide that I'd like to share here. That life is like an echo. What you send out comes back. What you sow, you reap. What you give, you get. What you see in others exists in you. Remember, life is an echo. It always gets back to you. So you give goodness and goodness comes back. And so, like we saw, that once we have understood emotions, how does it help us manage our social life? How does our social life change when we become emotionally intelligent? So after understanding emotions and how emotions are affecting us It is also going to help us understand people. So we will be able to empathize with people. Now there are these two beautiful words. One is empathy and one is sympathy. Now in English, when we say empathize, I say that I understand you. And when we say sympathy, it is something like pity. की आय एम पिटिंग यू, अरे अरे बिचारी. तर तसं न करता आपण लोकांना चांगल्या पद्धतीने समजू शकतो. आणि आपण लोकांना जर समजू शकलो तर आपण त्यांच्याशी जास्ती उत्तमरित्या वागू शकू. जसं आपण बघतोय की आजकाल खूप ठिकाणी प्रत्येक जणाच्या आयुष्यात वेगवेगळ्या गोष्टी चालू आहेत. मुलांना घराच्या बाहेर पडता येत नाहीये, त्यांना शेअरिंग स्पेस मिळत नाहीये, पेरेंट्स पण सारखे घरी आहेत, पेरेंट्स पण वर्क फ्रॉम होम आहेत. सो ह्या सगळ्यामध्ये सगळ्यांची स्पेस एकमेकांमध्ये खूप गुंतायला लागलेली आहे. आणि त्यामुळे कधी कधी होणारं इरिटेशन, कधी कधी येणारा राग, कधी कधी वाटणारं दुःख, किंवा काही काही गोष्टी ऐकून वाटणारी काळजी किंवा दुःख, जॉबमध्ये असणारे काही काही स्ट्रेसर्स, शाळेमध्ये असणारे काही काही स्ट्रेसर्स, सारखं स्क्रीन समोर बसल्यामुळे होणारा कंटाळ. सो ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी प्रत्येक जण अनुभवतोय, पण प्रत्येक जणाचा लँग्वेज ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन वेगळा आहे. पण मला जर कळलं की मला फार वेळ स्क्रीन समोर बसावं लागलं की मला कंटाळ येतो आणि मला 2-4 उड्या माराव्याशा वाटतायत, तर माझ्या मित्रालाही पण असंच वाटतंय का? किंवा माझ्या आईला लक्षात येत आहे का की मला आता फार वेळ खुर्चीवर बसलोय, आता नाही मला बसायचंय, आणि मला जास्ती वेळ बसायला लागलं तर माझं इरिटेशन वाढणार आहे. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर गोइंग टू हेल्प अस ऑल्सो अंडरस्टँड people around us in a better manner. And so our social life or our relationships with others are going to improve. बाकीच्यांबरोबर आपले असणारे काही वेळेस वादविवाद असतात, त्याच्यामध्ये आपण समोरच्या व्यक्तीला चांगलं समजून घेऊ शकू. आपल्याला काही आव्हानं असतात, अभ्यासामध्ये असतात, खेळामध्ये असतात, ऍज अडल्ट वर्कप्लेसमध्ये असतात. मग ती आपल्याला आपली चॅलेंजेस जेव्हा माहिती असतात आणि आपल्याला चॅलेंज आलं की आपल्याला काय वाटतं, तर एक्झॅक्टली तसंच समोरच्या व्यक्तीला सुद्धा वाटू शकत असेल असं जेव्हा आपल्याला लक्षात यायला लागतं, तेव्हा आपण त्यांच्याशी जास्ती प्रेमळपणे किंवा जास्ती समजूतदारपणे वागू शकतो. आणि त्याच्याने लाईफ अराउंड अस इज गोइंग टू बी बेटर. सो इफ आय एम गोइंग टू गिव्ह गुडनेस टू पीपल अराउंड मी, दॅट इज एक्झॅक्टली व्हॉट आय एम गोइंग टू रिसीव्ह. आणि इथे जे एक वाक्य आहे की व्हॉट यू सी इन अदर्स एक्झिस्ट इन यू. सो तुम्हाला जर जाणवत असेल की मला आता राग येतोय, तर तसंच समोरच्यामध्ये सुद्धा काही काही किंवा समोरच्या व्यक्ती चिडचिड करते, अरे मला पण असं होतं. सो दीज आर व्हेरी कॉमन थिंग्स दॅट वी हॅव, बट वी फील की आय एम दी ओनली वन हू इज इम्पॉर्टंट अँड अदर्स आर नॉट. सो ऑल ऑफ अस are connected to one another so much, and we are all equally important. So the moment I realize my value, or when I realize my emotion, I realize my feelings, I also become more empowered to understand another's emotion and others' feelings. Okay? I hope I've answered the question, Gitanjali.
Yes, ma'am. As you said, life is an echo. आणि जशी दृष्टी तशी सृष्टी. तर आपण जर पॉझिटिव्ह दृष्टी ठेवली तर आपल्याला जगही पॉझिटिव्ह दिसेल. आणि त्याची रुजण घडण ही लहान मुलांना लहानपणापासूनच केली पाहिजे, त्याने त्यांचं विजन क्लिअर होईल. सो आय होप ऑल द पेरेंट्स द क्वेश्चन्स हॅव बीन क्लिअर्ड व्हेरी वेल. आय हँड ओव्हर द माइक टू जसिंता मॅम. थँक यू मॅम.
A good father is one of the most unsung, unpraised, unnoticed, and yet one of the most valuable assets in our society. A father's tear and fear are unseen. His love is unexpressed, but his care and protection remains a pillar of strength throughout our lives. Father's blessings is so important. On this day, I wish all the fathers a happy Father's Day. And I hope today's webinar about parenting will surely help us to understand each other's emotions. Thank you. Over to Sarika.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope the queries in everybody's mind has been solved with such an informative and interesting question and answer round. Now, I request Gitanjali teacher to share her views about our today's webinar. Over to you, Gitanjali.
Thank you, Sarika ma'am. I feel happy to be a part of this wonderful webinar with such a wonderful speaker who shared the content with us, which was really interesting. I thank Radhika ma'am to share all the important tips of good or informed parenting and emotional intelligence, which we all will be surely implementing in our daily routine as a parent, as a teacher. Your research and knowledge in the part of emotional intelligence within a child is established in such a prudent way, ma'am. I'm sure it will help us to hold a child's weaknesses and their strengths and the emotional intelligence very authentically. मॅम, आजच्या धावपळीच्या युगामध्ये पालकांना इच्छा असूनही त्यांच्या मुलांना पाहिजे तसा वेळ ते देऊ शकत नाहीत व त्यांच्यातील गुण, अवगुण, बौद्धिक विकासातील वेगवेगळे टप्पे देखील ओळखता येत नाहीत. पण आजच्या या वेबिनारमुळे व तुमच्या अमूल्य मार्गदर्शनामुळे ते नक्कीच एक सुजाण पालक होतील. त्यामुळे त्यांच्या मुलांमधील बौद्धिक विकासाचे नवनवीन उपक्रम व योग्य कार्यक्षेत्र निवडण्यासाठी हा वेबिनार नक्कीच उपयुक्त ठरेल हा माझा विश्वास आहे. मॅम, lastly I would say that either as a parent or a teacher, we will surely ascertain a good positive way to understand the emotional intelligence in our children through a magnificent webinar. Thank you so much, ma'am, to be over here. Over to you, Sarika.
Thank you so much, Gitanjali, for sharing with us an overall review of our today's webinar. Now, I would like to offer my heartfelt thanks to our most honorable chief guest, Dr. Radhika Rawat ma'am, who has connected with us from Dubai. Ma'am, thank you so much for sparing your valuable time from your busiest schedule. Today, we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, which have surely encouraged all of us. Ma'am, thank you so much for motivating and inspiring all of us by sharing your wonderful experiences of parenting and emotional intelligence. I am thankful to our chairman, Mr. Subhashji Parmar sir. I am short of words for his involvement and willingness to take on the completion of tasks beyond his comfort zone. I thank our members of Education Committee for their guidance and support. I also thank our principal ma'am, Jacinta Manuel ma'am, for being the catalyst who stimulates us to do our best. With a deep sense of appreciation, I thank our loving teachers for their untiring efforts. I need to mention my deepest sense of appreciation towards our technical team, as we have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very proactive and dedicated staff of our institute who are well versed in their job. My sincere gratitude goes to all our parents and well-wishers and all the viewers on Facebook Live. We look forward to have you all again in our next webinar. Have a nice day. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarika.
Thank you, ma'am.
Acharya Shri Vijay Vallabh School, Pune, thanks to you for joining Good Parenting, Raising Emotionally Intelligent Students webinar. Thank you to our eminent speaker. Thank you to our audience. Special thanks to our chairman, Shri Subhashji Parmar. A big thanks to the whole organizing team, Mrs. Jacinta Manuel, Principal, Mr. Kalpesh Darji, Team Leader, Mrs. Sarika Paigude, Teacher, Mrs. Gitanjali Gullapelli, Teacher, Mrs. Itisha Shah, Teacher, Ms. Bhavika Rathod, Teacher, Ms. Urvisha Rathod, Teacher, Mrs. Aparna Dhaigude, Team Member. Once again, thank you all. Thank you all the viewers for watching this webinar. We look forward seeing you next Sunday for yet another interesting webinar. Stay tuned with us. Thank you.